request and invite and introduce our moderator, Mr. Raghu Chinta.
Welcome everyone. Today we are diving into the topic that is rapidly transforming industries across the globe. AI readiness, paving the way for digital transformation. Every technology or product company claims to be innovating with AI or to have implemented it. Saying we are approaching a transformative stage with AI might be understatement because the transformation has already begun. So the real question is, at what stage are we now? And are the businesses and consumers ready for adoption? Today's panel discussion focuses on how we are digitally enabled organization of any scale and to take a step towards AI adoption. Let's begin by inviting our esteemed panelists to address an interesting set of questionnaires we have composed. So the first panelist is, it's my pleasure to introduce Mr. Raj Profel, founder and CEO at ClaimGenius Inc. He is a dynamic leader in the fintech industry with 20 years of experience. He has successfully led executive management roles at top financial institutes, driving innovation and product excellence. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. Srinivas Madipudi, CTO, Cloud Service Systems, with over 2 decades of IT experience. Srinivas drives technology innovation, particularly in cloud computing and AI, ensuring cutting-edge solutions and strategic progress. Please welcome Mr. Siv Kumar Palaswamy. I think he's an online panelist. He's a group head of solution engineering, architecture, chief technology officer, London Stock Exchange Group. He's a leading expert in technology and business strategy. His impactful work across global enterprise and notable achievements in data management and digital transformation make him distinct leader. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. Srinivas Busarapu, information and cyber security researcher. He's an auditor. He's a mentor, advisor on fintech, a prominent figure in cybersecurity with over 20 years of experience. His research and advisory work focuses in emerging technologies, including AI, IoT, and blockchain. His extensive experience and contributions in advancing security and technology make him a key voice in the field. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Anuj Gupta, founder and CEO, Gradient Advisors, with over 2 decades of experience. His work in AI innovation and strategic leadership has significantly impacted the industry, advising 10+ firms globally, co-authored a landmark book in AI, and mentored CXOs and founders on AI. We are honored to welcome Mr. Deepraj Sethi, Vice President, Product Management, Buzzboard. With over 22 years of experience in the field, Mr. Sethi has played a crucial role in developing and launching a series of impactful applications. His exceptional leadership has notably increased user engagement and satisfaction. So the first question goes to Raj. As an early stage adopter of AI, heavily invested in image, video recognition, and predictive analytics, for a very intriguing problem in InsurTech, share us how you are revolutionizing claims processing for insurance companies for a very manual, intense process to digital process using AI.
First of all, thank you for inviting me here to speak about it, and thanks for this opportunity. So I think AI is, as Anuj said earlier, right? AI is now evolving. Still, there is at least couple of years to see the best of the AIs and the use cases. Now, just to give a little bit of an idea what we do at ClaimGenius, right? ClaimGenius is a claims automation insurtech company focused onto the computer vision technology, using computer vision technology. Now, the four-wheelers goes through the accident, so it does a manual inspection. Now, imagine there are about 1.43 billion vehicles globally, four-wheelers I'm talking about. right? And all these vehicles goes through an inspection cycle at some point of its life cycle. Now, having these many vehicles, and every year it is growing 8%, having that manual inspection is a very costly and inefficient, affair, and that is where the costs are going up. Now, changing the space. Now, this is a rudimentary process that is happening so many years, and it's not only into the claims area, but any other industries that you look at. We have a traditional kind of a process which are very, very manual, and changing those process is not that easy because people are used to it, right? They do not take risk-taking abilities to basically change something totally, drastically, and then adapt something new. So it needs a lot of validations. Expectation management is the most important part of it. The other part of it is when you're doing certain manual things, there are a lot of funny things happens as well, right? And there is no traceability to it. So people always are used to do that as well. Now, the moment that you bring the digitization and the automation, everything is under the scanner. Everything is open, everything is visible to anybody, and you can go point in, back in the time and then basically adopt it. So people fear about that change, right? So first thing is adapting something drastically different. Second thing is something stopping what you are doing and then bringing everything under the digital eyes. So that's where when you're selling any AI technology, you need to make sure that your AI is trustworthy, it is genuine, it is not going to solve the 100% of the issues or the problem or the use case that you have. But you have to identify the low-hanging fruits. What is that, first thing that we can basically address? That proves the benefits of the AI technology, and then the adoption starts, right? So changing the rudimentary processes, managing the expectations, and do not create the air while selling this AI technology is the most important part. Because if you kind of create a balloon, it is going to blast at some point, and it is going to face the entire technology faces the credibility issues then. So you have to be very careful when you are selling AI to any of these customers. Identify the right use case and then position it in right way with the right expectation management. That's how I will put it.
Thank you for the detailed response. The next one is for Srinivas Madipudi. How is your perceived the current landscape of AI in cloud technologies, and what major advancements you have observed recently?
Hello everyone. Thank you everyone for coming here, and then I thank everyone in the panel here, in participating here. So coming to the adoption of AI in the cloud technologies is very rapid right now. It's day by day, we are seeing new enhancements, new features in AI products from all of the vendors, which we see from either it's from AWS or it's from OpenAI, like Microsoft or Google, ChatGPT or whatever it is. So one thing that what I have observed is AI is given as a service. So for any of the product companies who wants to use AI doesn't need to work on building their LLMs or training their models and like that. So you have an option to use the existing AI service. Either it could be based on what kind of cloud platforms they have. They can use the existing AI service. Either it could be document processing or image processing or else data processing, right? So they can use any of those features and then leverage their application on top of it. So in that way, all the effort that needs to be put on building the LLM is reduced, and then can have the productivity much faster actually. That's what it's all the clients are adopting towards using those AI services a lot nowadays.
Thank you, Srini. So the next question goes to the online panelist, Shiva. In your opinion, do you think AI should be considered as a critical component of digital transformation? If yes, does industry, sector, geography, or size of the company matter?
No. Can you hear me properly?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, yes, okay. I just want to make sure there's no any technology issues there. So, okay, thank you. Again, very, very happy to share, the stage with talented panelists, and thank you so much for the opportunity. The question is absolutely yes. It is going to be a critical role, AI, and also why I'm saying this is again, I come from the finance sector. I call this the enhanced decision-making process. When you use AI in processing millions of documents and your real-time stock feeds, be it ticker messages coming in every minute, AI is going to play a huge role in changing the landscape, understanding that things at the edge itself. So definitely it's going to play a role. If you look at healthcare sectors, some of the things what I've been working is around the patient journey as the patient goes through pre-op, inter-op and post-op procedures. AI would touch them positively. We have developed models to really tell whether the surgeon is using the right level of pressure on the scissors so there's no tissue damage, right? So this is revolutionizing the way why we are reimagining surgery in the healthcare sectors. So coming to the industry, I would say in my experience, technology and finance is in the forefront of AI adoption. If you look at healthcare, manufacturing, education, they are getting there, right? So this is extremely, critical. Again, the great question you have, size of the company. Yes, it does matter. Larger enterprises would have some deeper pockets, and absolutely they'll be able to, research into AI. They can do AI adoption much faster. But I think the AI is into the level playing field at this moment, in my opinion. Even the medium and small companies can get into it, right? One of my friends spoke about like LLMs and everything. If you look at it, there are so many open source libraries available, LangChains of the world, Hugging Faces of the world. You can definitely bring this and start understanding AI, and then making AI not only available for data scientists, but data analysts. A lot of people can make decisions with it, right? If you look at like PyTorch's TensorFlows, which has been there for many, many years, definitely is revolutionizing the way it's bringing the company on the level playing field. Again, the last but not the least, the point what I want to make here is, for me personally, AI is a great thing. It's a shiny toy for a lot of organizations. They want to jump into it. They want to boil the ocean. As one of the panelists said, you need to start small, understand what the use case is, and incrementally start building on top of it for you to be extremely successful. So I think that is my point of view, and that's a great question.
Yeah, and that's a great answer too. Coming to Anuj, what are the roles of IoT, machine learning, predictive and generative AI in digital transformation journey for enterprises? So see, couple of things. One, all of them have to manage the expectations. Now, why is that the critical part? And this is something Raj also spoke briefly about. All the software that we have used until so far has been deterministic. So when something goes wrong, it's a bug, right? AI is a very different branch of software where things will go wrong. And when things go wrong, it is not a bug. It is the very nature of the software itself, right? Now, that has been one of the biggest impediments in terms of the adoption, because when large enterprises are looking at AI solutions, when they look at something goes wrong, that is seen as a bug, and typical reaction is to hold back, right? So that's one key aspect that needs to be understood, that none of the AI systems anytime soon are going to be 100% correct. Which means no matter what you do, there will always be a long tail of edge cases where the system will continue to go wrong no matter what you do, right? And this is where how you sell it, how you position it, right? Which is why it is also said that AI should not be seen as artificial intelligence. There are parts that it can do very well, but there are parts that it cannot do as of today. And that is where humans have to continue to take control of the thing. Which is why a right way to look at AI has to be augmented intelligence, right? AGI, again, it is not anytime soon. At the same time, large organizations cannot say that we're gonna hold back until these things are solved, because today a bunch of smart kids sitting in a corner can come up with solutions which can burn establishes businesses overnight. One of the best examples of that is stock photography. Stock photography has been a very large business for a very, very long time. A bunch of kids decided to create a company called OpenAI or a Midjourney, and suddenly stock photography is out of fashion, right? So for large organizations, it is even bigger a challenge because typically large organizations are known to move at a slower speed. And with a disruptive technology like this, there have been instances where overnight organizations have lost large part of their market value because somebody else came in the market and these were just a bunch of very, very smart kids. So the only way if have to be start early in terms of your inputs and efforts, but you'll have to be extremely patient in terms of the rewards. If you are not doing that, which is why you see all the bubble, the so-called stories that have now started to come out that the Gen AI bubble is bursting, because the ROI is not coming out. I also want to call out the point that this is not the first time. So there have been some scenarios. In 2013, there were a bunch of papers that came out. Everybody said NLP is a solved problem, not much moved. 2015, there was a blog by Andrej Karpathy called Unreasonable Effectiveness of RNS that created largest number of startups in the chatbot and customer support space. By 2017, most of them burned down to ashes. In 2018, there was a whole trend around GANs, generative adversarial networks, that could generate data, right? Not very different from what it is today, right? Again, the same thing happened. So these cycles have happened multiple times, yet at each point of time, it has been advancing. The most interesting facet, at least for me in all of this, has been none of these systems are intelligent, but our notion that if you can solve some hard question means that your intelligence is being challenged. So there are systems today that have won silver medal in International Mathematical Olympiad, yet all they have done is crammed lots and lots of data, right? So that means that you'll have to go back and question a lot of other things, including the very foundational question, what is intelligence? There have been a couple of attempts. Having said that, what we are dealing with is a very disruptive technology. Your only option is to start early, get going, but be extremely patient in terms of the returns, right? If you don't do now, somebody else will come and do it, and that's going to be a bigger risk.
Thank you. Next, we are going to move with Srinivas Baswarapu. Do you think AI will enable and create more opportunities or will take away jobs of many?
Yeah. Good evening, Vananda. Thanks for giving me this opportunity. Special thanks to SNAD, CEO, and team. Here, many people thinking AI will kill jobs. Yes, in one aspect, no in another aspect. Both the things are there. Because whatever repeated tasks are there, that will be automated using AI-based systems. Based on the engineering aspects, based on the algorithms, based on the data, all the things will be taken into the consideration. The repeated kind of activities or processes will be taken by AI. That is number one aspect. Number two, what are the new things? Few areas we are not explored. Those things will be taken by AI and creates new opportunities. Because all the times we are seeing in customer care or BPOs or all other things, the repeated task we are seeing, that is handled by various chatbots, chats, and all the things are happening. So that kind of jobs will be lost. So that's one. And other side, now few areas we are not even touched up. So there we can start engineering of the things. So that's why now if you start looking at an AI perspective, AI engineering aspect of that is research is going to be increased. Their opportunities will be increased. That's number one. And number two, after completing the research activities of that AI engineering and prompts, whatever you say, The second aspect of that is once research outcomes coming, the implementation engineering. Engineering of engineering will create more opportunities. So once that engineering of engineering is done, final output of that will come to the operational engineering. There also now is going to increase. The unexplored things will create new opportunities. More than this existing one, this is going to be created. And repeated, who are working in the repeated areas, we ensure you're gone. Like if you look at a lot of websites and other things we are seeing, including GenAIs and all prompt engineering, we're able to see there the content writers now gone. The repeated content, whatever you're doing. So you can think many are generating now. And similarly, customer support, like 139 Indian Railways, it has been killed a lot of people. Ask Disha kind of thing. That has been taken a lot of jobs of government sector. So now new things, now agriculture sector is there. Now drone has been taken there. And image capturing has been taken. So disease detect system is come into the picture. There now insurance kind of thing has been explored. And next, what you call pesticides for that, diagnostic service and advisory service, crop management service. The new sectors are coming up. So like this, AI is enabling new things as well as killing all repeaters. And who are working in the repeat, please ensure that the thing is going to happen.
Thank you. Moving to Deepraj, being a core member of Buzzboard Product Management, please share how generative AI is being utilized in selling.
Hello. So to begin with, yes, thank you very much for this opportunity and to be sitting here with this elite panel. Before I jump to the question that you had, I just wanted to add a point to what he said.
Sure, go ahead.
So rather than worrying that the AI takes my job, worry about the person sitting next to you. He will take your job. Because if he understands the AI better, absorbs it into his work better, he will take your job. Right? So that was one thing I just wanted to go in. With Buzzboard, we have been helping salespeople do sales intelligently, right? Which is efficiency and effectivity, save time, and get faster closures, right? So with the old era of ML, we used to have prediction, lead scoring, right? The curve and all those. With the boom of Gen AI, right? Previously we were working with NLP, and as he said, there were some challenges with NLP. With the boom of LLM, late 2022, what we suddenly realized is, along with pointing out whom to talk, what to talk and why to talk, so instead of selling, you're now consulting. You are putting a band-aid to a problem. I can also help you do it effectively, nicely, without intruding into the personal space of your prospect. So we can today get SWOT analysis, just like that. You can get competitive battle cards, just like that. We give you a sketch of your decision maker, just like that. And we also tell you, we give you hyper-personalized messaging, emails, SMSs, whatever you want, just like that. And all this happens with a deep understanding of the person, the decision maker, the business that you're about to approach, and you as an organization which is out to sell a solution. And all this, as Anuj rightly pointed out, there is a margin of error. AI is never 100%. Yeah. And the thing that we were able to focus on and experiment on a lot was to get that margin of error to under 5%. And that's when the end user actually started, coming back with, wow, this works, wow, this works, right? So experimentation is key, and like you rightly said, you need to be a little patient because there are multiple approaches, like Srini said, LangChain and this and that, and you've got multiple codes available out there on Hugging Face. You have to be very clear about what the problem is and not go about getting an AI wrapper to your product, right? Understand what the problem is, target the experiments to solve the problem. And if that is done effectively, the end user does not have to think about AI. He has to just think about what he has to do, he has to sell.
And if I'm able to address that properly, the business goes nowhere, it just grows. Hope I helped.
That was a great point. Okay. This one is for Raj. In general, the biggest hurdle in any technology evolution or innovation is adoption. Based on your experience, can you please share your insights on the trends and technology adoption, specifically in embedded AI for both consumer and business perspective?
So as I earlier said, I'll again extend my earlier answer, right, where the expectation management is the key, right? That goes to the adoption. Now, it depends on which industry and which business you are applying AI to. As he rightly said, you have to identify the problem first. Instead of just saying that we are AI is a buzzword right now. Everybody says they are using AI. But identifying that area where you really can be applying AI, then you would be able to also identify the ROIs behind it, right? Once you know that there is an ROI, that time, right from the top management, the push comes for the adoption. There will be always a resistance because of some perception that people are going to lose the job, right? So if I'm talking about the industry that we are in, the insurance claims industry, the operations are pretty manual. So if you go bottoms up, trying to do the adoption at the bottom level, they are always having this fear of losing the job, so they will never adopt the technology. So you have to create that business value and prove that business value through AI that this much of percentage of your cost saving, and most importantly at this point where the AI is today, it's more about the efficiency. Bringing the efficiency into the operations is more important because that is also the ROI, right? Because the throughput is increasing. So if you clearly see the value of the AI, identify the areas where it is applicable, then the adoption gets faster. Now there is another area of adoption as well. Although we are a US-based company, our more traction is in India. Largest customer base is in India. Now, in India, not many things are in a legacy, at least in the technology area, right? So there is always, and I hope everybody understand Hindi, chalta hai, right? Let's karke to dekhte hai, kya hota hai?
That's
right? What's
Indian
going to
attitude.
happen the worst, right? So that's an attitude in the countries where the technology is right now evolving. As opposed to if you go back to US or the European markets where the processes are set for like 100 years. They're doing the repetitive things and they are basically not really, risk-taking appetite they have, because otherwise they want to basically go slow, right? Who the first is. And that is the kind of a mindset. So there are a couple of areas that you need to first think: value add, ROIs, business value, efficiency, and then the adoption becomes easier. I hope that answers your question.
Thank you. Going back to Srinivas Mandipudi, from your experience, how ready are enterprises to adopt AI in cloud technologies? Are there specific industries that are more prepared than others?
Yeah. To answer that, right, I would say there are 4 critical things that every organization or enterprise will look at, right? The first one is the skill set. Do they have enough skill set to develop their AI solutions? Second one is the data, right? Raj might know about the data a lot, right? So you capture a lot of images. So is the data correct, right? So initially we used to load the data like an ETL concept, right? Extract, transform, and load. Now with the storage becoming cheaper, we load the data, and then we transform to whatever we want. So we need to make sure the data that we loaded is accurate, because that's where we get the AIs get trained on. As long as your data is accurate, your model is I would say close to accurate, right? And then the third one is again the security and the compliance. That's one thing which all of the industries will be looking at. And what I have seen is nowadays every organization is adopting for a chief data officer role. That's a new role that's coming up in across all the organizations, where he is responsible for building the AI solutions and then the data is secure. It's not going out to the public as part of their AI transformation. That's one of the other things. And then the last one is ROI. As everyone mentioned here, so what is the ROI in adopting to the technologies? I know the ROI might not be so high during the initial adoption phases, but as and when they get the skills improved, as and have they get the talent, then I guess they will have the enough ROI as well. And coming back to the other question, like which industries are ready, I would say the tech industry is 100% ready for AI adoption, right? So any cloud service or anything that you want to get, there is an AI on top of it. Either it could be an CRM platform, or else it could be an ERP platform or a HCM application, right? There's an inbuilt AI product that the product owner itself is delivering. So I would say tech is 100% ready. And then after that, retail is the other one which has got a little bit of AI, scope, where all the retail customers are identifying the spend of the customers, where they are spending, how much they are spending, and then it gives them better understanding about the customer, and then give them the products which they want. And then after that, like the fintech and then the other healthcare, manufacturing are still at the early adoption phases, and there's a lot to learn for them to adopt AI into the future. Yeah.
Thank you. That was a nice one. So moving back to Shiva, how do you measure AI readiness in any organization?
Another great question. AI readiness, again, I can give an example in London Stock Exchange, right? AI readiness is, the initial is your strategic alignment with your technology and the business partners, right? That is your first thing. Somehow you need to convince them it makes sense. As the panelists mentioned, you need to have a very succinct use case and tell them this is the benefit AI is going to give. That's your first step. The very important, profound statement I'm going to make is the data side, which one of the panelists highlighted, right? Where is your data, right? Where is your data? The data could be on-premise, sitting in an NAS storage. The data could be in the cloud. Data could be sitting in user's desktop. So how are you going to access it? What is your data management capability? From ingestion, orchestration, distribution, as you said, how you're going to distribute the data, mastering the data, governing the data. So all these things, the data management capability has to be done. And then the very important thing we also have to think about is your governance and security. Again, governance goes various layers. Technical governance in terms of tracking your data lineage, your provenance, that's extremely important. And then your business governance on top of it, right? There are so many tools in the market, Azure Purviews, and so many things which can offer you that. But again, you need to be careful in terms of what you're trying to do in terms of governing the data, in terms of adding the data entitlements, in other words, attribute-based access controls. So once you have that in your mind, again, I'm talking about larger enterprises, where the one thing which we also clearly missed is understanding the data gravity across the organization is extremely important. You can't jump into an AI project to say, I'm going to solve a problem. It's a shiny toy. I'm going to get it done. I think you're going to burn the money there. So it's absolutely important to understand your data gravity, where your data is, what could it potentially solve for you, right? Again, the panelists highlighted another important thing is your technology, your skill sets. Where is the gap in the organization? You cannot go and train a normal business user to become a data scientist, but a lot of analysts out there in the finance sector, right? You need to make sure that they get adequately trained, and also it's a cultural mindset shift, right? A lot of in finance sectors, people don't want to change, right? And it's a mind shift. So you have to enable, empower them to change their mindset to start adopting it, right? So that is quite important, right? Last but not the least, again, I may be repeating this as a broken record. Again, you definitely should have a use case in terms of what exactly you're trying to solve, what problem you're trying to solve, and what is the outcomes, right? If you do not have that, I think you should not proceed, especially in the bigger organization, because after a couple of years, you'll decide, oh, I lost it, right? So this is quite important. So again, something very AI readiness scorecard, every organization uses it, understand where you are on the path of the journey, and then understand it, and then, if you fail, what's your path forward for you? Maybe fail forward, and ensure that the readiness scorecard is available based on all these parameters, what I spoke to you. Again, fantastic question, and again, readiness can be measured many ways, but this is what we are doing on our side. Thank you.
Thank you. The next question is for Anuj. Can you give examples of industries that have successfully implemented AI in their digital transformation journey?
So lots of them. I mean, but I think one example that stands out for me is Rose Pharma. Now, why is that the case? Because anybody who has any understanding of drug discovery would know that typical time that is involved in drug discovery, right from day one to all clinical trials and a successful rollout, is anywhere between 15 to 20 years. Plus, this is a billion-dollar game, right? Multi-billion-dollar game. So anything that you can do in there is a very tangible game. Now, one of the very successful ideas that people have been able to come up with is that humans are bad at creating new compounds, right? We are very good at testing compounds, but we are very bad at creating new compounds. In a mathematical word, it is analogous to saying that there are two parts of a proof. One is a conjecture, one is actually proving it. Creating conjectures has always been a harder piece of the puzzle. Systems have been able to create compounds saying that if you have so many carbon, so many oxygen, so many hydrogen atoms combined in a particular way, this could be a potential element or a compound to look at. Now, whether that compound is available physically or not is a secondary question. But the thing is, today, once such an idea is there, then such a compound can be manufactured in a lab and can be quickly tested, right? Which is where the largest amount of success in the AI story is actually coming from the pharma world.
Thank you. The next question goes to Srinivas B. What strategic approaches should organizations take to future-proof their operations in the digital age?
So, in the digital age, now everybody is talking about the digital transformation. As part of the digital transformation, we should have to look at in 360 degrees angle, right from the talent management, talent capacity building, engineering aspect, and their research aspect, and productivity, how you can increase the productivity of the organization, and how we are going to increase the ROI, whether you are reducing wastage or improving the performance or operational level. So in that way only now we are able to see a lot of, one of the use cases UPI. Now we are able to see UPI is working like anything in India now, and millions of transactions are happening. There, once it reaches to some point, automatically the AI engine, it is scaling up the machines or clouds or processes. So that level of engineering aspect has been taken care backside. And operational level, they are penetrated to the people use for various transactions. There also there will be different types of use cases. Now for merchants, one kind of thing, insurance part, one kind of thing, educational part, some kind of thing. So that kind of use cases has been built to increase the performance and operational level. So that way, as an organization, they should have to think in all the directions. Now, if you look at in coming next 5 years, LIC has been taken a lot of initiatives. How they want to start digital transformation. We know how much capability is there with the insurance. There are 14 million agents are there, number of brokers are there, number of assessors are there, all these things are there. So in that now their core engine is their agents. Who are going to sell more than 14 policies a year. So as per their analysis, 14 policies. And millions of policies they want to sell it. So they want to build their LMS level, learning management level, even though it is a repeated task, but they want to concentrate on the new products, which he is going to use. In that only now they are also concentrating on a new product like now all regular products are there. How we can add other products to that, which is going to give much bigger revenue, and how they are going to solve their problems also. So because a lot of grievances, claims, all the things are coming up. So how efficiently they are solving that kind of problems using their grievance management kind of thing. And another aspect is, once they are invested into these kind of activities, how we are going to increase their net asset value or profit value. So those kind of things, once they designed as a use case, and that is implemented as part of their channel solutions, That way, if they adapted these kind of use cases, AI use cases or blockchain use cases as part of their digital transformation, which makes a lot of new opportunities and new ROI also going to come into them. So that kind of initiatives one must try to take as part of that.
Thank you. Coming back to Deep Raj, when it comes to innovation, can AI help the common man? Can you share with us one of such innovative AI products you are impressed with?
I think there is no doubt that AI is going to come into our daily life. There is no doubt. In some ways it has already. It's just that maybe we are not aware of it. The one application that I was really wowed was the human pin. I don't know if people have heard about it. So it's like a little tag pin. You can just hook it here. You don't need a phone. It has a little projector. It listens to you while you talk. To the extent it is supposed to listen to, does not capture everything. You need to make a phone call. You just say, "Call mom." It calls. You want to see something, right? It has a little projector. It projects onto your palm, and you see what you want to see on your palm, and it's done. Right? So it's along with you. It's a pin. It's like a code pin along with you, embedded with AI and of course other micro technologies. So that takes care of it. That takes your phone away, the watch away, the tablet away, and a lot of human aid away. And I would encourage. I mean, if you have not heard of it, just go and take a look. It's I think in the pre-beta stage in public under test, but things like that are definitely going to come in. And I would say 2025 is when you should start looking towards even jet engines, where today when we fly to US, it takes around what minimum 15-16 hours, that can be cut down to 4 hours, right? So technologies are on the verge of coming out, and I hope it comes out, but yeah, that's my 2 cents.
Okay. Once again to Srinivas, please share your opinion on the latest news of converting Telangana and Hyderabad as the first AI city.
It is our privilege actually. Why? Because lot of AI talent pool is available in Hyderabad, especially Telangana all level. How? It is there, we are having lakhs of students over there and training centers are there. And training, government is also providing lot of support for building the capacity in engineering aspect, research aspect, and providing test beds also to execute various use cases across all the vectors like aerospace, agriculture, banking, insurance, fintech, in all the areas that has been enabled to perform any kind of thing. So that's why Hyderabad and Telangana is becoming AI smart center or AI center, because here we have a lot of GCC also coming up to enable that GCCs with talent. So the talents also regularly, continuously, they have been given now. Earlier it is knowledge part, only knowledge level things are there. Now they are coming up skill kind of thing. So whatever you are building, you should have to build yourself. In academic also that has been integrated from task, from TSTS, from ICT department, and industry also doing a lot of activities on that and encouraging, and a lot of collaboration between these two is happening to get into the various new ventures, new startups also coming up in AI and other areas. So that way Hyderabad will become the AI city.
Any open questions from the audience?
I am Ram Mohan Damle, retired Chief Manager, Indian Bank. My question is that there was a reference to adaptive ability. The adoption capacity of the people is different across the world, and we speak with respect to our India. My point is that artificial intelligence apart, there is a natural intelligence. Are we totally exploiting the natural intelligence of all the human beings? There is a program called Skill India at the government of India. So my interpretation of Skill India is that there was a reference to knowledge and skill also just now. Knowledge is a practical aspect, skill is a little technical or practical. Are we in a position to both impart knowledge and skill each Indian to the peak of his adaptive ability so that the nation as a whole prospers and contributes to the growth of the world. So this is my question. Thank you.
The whole point of AI, or I would say the epitome of AI, is about personalization, right? The very ability that do I understand my end user to so much that I can adapt to it, right? As a matter of fact, which is why sectors like healthcare and edtech are most likely to be impacted in a most dramatic way. However, how soon? That is a little question mark. It may not happen in a year or two, but it might take a couple of more years before we get to the point. But I think organizations like Khan Academy have already shown that it is very much possible to build systems that can understand the end user and then adapt the very teaching methods to the individual and their capacity and capability. I don't know if I answered the question.
I'd like to add to that. In order to reach to each Indian, your thing is that. So in order to reach to each Indian, we have a mission called AI for all. The government of India has been taken an initiative called AI for all. If you take each domain, health, let us take health only. Now we have started a card called AIushman Bharat card. So in that, the PHR will be taken, patient health record. So based on that, each individual health profiling is going to happen. And whatever claims around health related, everything is there which is reaching to every Indian. That is number one aspect. And number two aspect, if it is coming to EdTech, as he rightly pointed out, National Education Policy 2020 has been initiated, a new initiative called NDR, National Digital Architecture, Education Architecture. As part of that, every student personalized education also taken care by AI now. So how is reading, how is writing, what skills, what is the performance, all the things are taken now, both the things. So which is reading millions of people in India now. So another aspect is the financial aspect. Now if you look at the financial aspect, UIDA and the PFMS, the Public Financial Management System, as well as DBTs are using all these AI components, which is also reducing a lot of fraud analytics activities. Wherever it is happening, it is reducing using AI use cases. So that level of AI is already penetrated in government sector as well as in collaboration with the multinational companies. So that kind of things are happening. That's why now if you look at India Stack, one of the important component of Indian government, and now it is adapted by global also. Global Stack is also coming up with the support of Microsoft and Google. Both are helping to build global stack. So that's why now UPI, next account aggregator, these kind of new technologies are coming up, and which are collaborated with the help of not only one AI, multiple technologies also involved, which is impacting each Indian also. Okay, thank you.
Hi, I am Ajay and I am part of Stack Developers. My question is that do you think that we should be concerned about the potential misuse of AI? I don't know whether every robot is AI enabled or not, but we all are Rajnikant fans, right? So we have seen that movie. So Chitti developed into a negative one, right? So do you foresee any issues on that? On the potential misuse of AI and robotics?
In fact, there is a lot of misuse of AI is also happening, right? If you have a very simple example is deepfake technology that you might have heard of, right? So that is one of the great example of misuse of the AI. And there are a lot of other areas, especially in terms of the chatbots, right? That is also kind of misusing AI by identifying your profiles and all that, right? It is kind of in generating the fake AI messages or the information that seems very, very true to you, right? Earlier days, there used to be the phishings, right? That used to happen. Now AI is kind of coming into that. See, there any time a new technology comes in, the first thing that people try to think of, how can I use to cheat the world, right? So yes, absolutely, misuse of AI is happening, already started happening, and at the same time, there are preventive measures also started happening, right? So there are technology companies who are actually kind of using as an AI as an anti-hackers. Call it as an anti-hacker. I'm just using a simple term. But yes, to answer your question, absolutely. Every technology is getting misused, and there is an prevention also is getting in place.
Yeah, I would like to add to that one also.
Thanks.
Misuse in the concept of everywhere misuse will be there. So in that different levels of misuse also there. When you're training the algo, that level also, if you increase the bias, that level misuse is there. And if you are using multiple layers of AI, layer 1, layer 2, layer 3, if you are given negative biasness over there, they are also misuse there, engineering level. I'm not taking the common level, deep fake, all these are output of that. So there, if somebody has done negativity, then it entire goes wrong. So that way, initially first when Microsoft released their chatbot, the news engine, it has been taken entire negative news and it is propagated like anything. They stopped that service. So that kind of misuse is there. So after performing the engineering part, the outcome of misinformation, disinformation, all these are based on your bias. So that kind of AI misuse is also there.
Thank you.
Yeah, can I add something there too, if I can? Yeah, I think just extending that, right? The misuse is, as my panelist said, it's both ways. Even in the evolution of LLMs, people would be training it differently for answering a specific set of questions. And then there are layers, as my colleague explained, there are various layers. It's very expensive too. Sometimes we freeze the layers and we kind of train only one part of the layer to answer those questions. It may start hallucinating. That's the reason we have prompt engineering, the RAG techniques we use, content filtering, what we do. These are some of the things the organization is not aware when you start exploring into LLMs, right? So it is very important. As I said, there are technologies evolving to put the filters, quantizing the model, because the cost is an important factor. So again, beware that this is an ongoing thing. We haven't completely solved it. It's fast evolving. We have to ring fence it. It is one of the major challenges in finance sector, especially in the group where I'm working on, is kind of deviating the model to answer different questions, right? So it is a great question.
Any more open questions from the audience? Thank you very much.
Thank you.